I did prepare something just in case this came about, if I could read it. So first, I want to thank Pamela Geller, Robert Spencer, for organizing this contest and event. I think it's great, I think it's important. I think this is the absolute proper response to the atrocity at Charlie Hebdo. It's the only way you can do it. And, you know, they tell the truth about Islam and jihad every single day. I'm a cartoonist, I have a blog, I do every so often, I have a comic book series that I do. I don't do it every day. They do it every day, and we get the benefit of that, to keep the truth that we are at war in our minds every single day. It's important. And however bad things currently are, things will be a lot worse without them. So I just want to thank them. Thank you very much. Also thank everyone for coming here. I think it's fantastic. It's a great turnout. It's important, and if you can see the security out there, why do we need that kind of security? Why? Because, you know, the only reason we're talking about Islam is what? Because Islam does not mean peace. That's the only reason we're talking about it. And let me just say something about myself. They mentioned I have a Muslim background, but the problem with even moderate Muslims, I was raised in the Bronx by Albanian Muslim parents, is that the poison of misogyny and Jew hatred gets everyone. I don't care how decent they are, even in the Western Europe, in American Europe. So just in terms of even the misogyny, I don't know of one female in my generation who wasn't beaten by their husbands. I know that my mom used to mourn the birth of my nieces. I was shocked when I first saw it. I didn't know what she was doing. I found out. Even though being raised around that crap, it still really affected me. And there was a casual admiration for Hitler in my household and my further family. That's why I refer to Hitler as Islam's favorite infidel. They forgive him that he's not Muslim because he killed more Jews than anyone. So it's that kind of casual evil that poisons everyone who calls himself Muslim. I don't care if they're decent. I still have cousins that I somewhat see, talk to here and there, but it's always it's stunted by the fact of the work that I'm doing. But they're not out to kill people, but they are still affected in terrible ways by this ideology. And in terms of drawing Muhammad, I've drawn him about maybe two dozen times over the years. The first time I drew him was after the Danish cartoonists. I never set out to draw Muhammad. I don't think the Danish cartoonists ever set out to draw Muhammad. It's just the point that we can't, quote unquote, draw Muhammad. Therefore, what do we do naturally? We draw Muhammad. Especially as Westerners, as Americans. And I left Islam in my mid-teens when I began to take morality seriously. I found Ayn Rand's philosophy. And as I put it, I left the most misogynistic ideology on earth and follow a philosophy created by a woman, which is a pretty amazing thing. Then 9/11 hits, and I studied Islamism. My life depended on it. With the help of, after Robert wrote his books, I read every book of his, Andrew Boston, others, on jihad, on Islam, and I probably overdid it because I wanted to write a comic book post 9/11. I realized that Marvel and DC and other mainstream comics would not touch the issue of Islam. They would never allow Captain America to do what would come naturally to Captain America, take on jihad ruthlessly. He's a super soldier. So I stepped back and I said, okay, what kind of comic book, what kind of hero could I create? And being raised Muslim, we were told that the pig is the most vile creature, in the world. It's disgusting. And so, as I put it, it's Islamic bigotry. Islamic bigotry. That's where Pigman came from. I said, let me have an ex-Muslim superhero dress up in pigskin leather and ruthlessly fight jihad. And then that's my story. It's called The Infidel. I can talk about Islam jihad for hours, but let me just say, let me finish by reciting what Pamela Geller said recently about why we draw Muhammad. And she wrote, we draw Muhammad because we are free. We draw Muhammad because our unalienable rights are enshrined in the First Amendment. The freedom of speech is the First Amendment, not the 5th, or the 8th, or the 10th, the 1st. And that's for an important reason. It is the cornerstone of all our other freedoms. We draw Muhammad because, unlike brutal Muslim countries under the Sharia, we do not live under Islamic law. We drop Muhammad because we will not submit. We drop Muhammad because we can. Thank you very much.